Hi, everybody. So this is our third empowering convo. Actually, my first, but third on the page. And I'm Nayonika Roy. I am an interviewer in the interview department of Empower. Today we have with us Thiha with a very, very important topic to discuss. That is the struggles that youth face. In these days or in this generation. So a little about him. He's an MUN enthusiast. If you don't know what an MUN is, it is actually like a debate competition under Model United Nations, and you have to express your views, opinions, and whoever's thoughts on that topic are the most unique, valid, and factual will win a prize. So those prizes are usually best delegate, best caricaturist, and all of that. Thiha has won the best commendation award. And also the best position paper. Now, if you don't know, position papers are super tough. And when I heard that he has won those, I was really, really impressed. So we have Thiha with us. Okay.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, so I'm just going to pass over this introduction circle to him so he can just introduce himself. Go ahead.
Okay, so hi everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be watching this from. So my name is Thiha. Full name is Thiha Htoo Hsett, and I am a high school senior and from Yangon. And I'm also, as our interviewer has said, I'm also an MUN enthusiast. And some stuff about me would be I'm also a local youth activist and also a local youth-led organization founder. And some activism about me would be I advocate for human rights and also climate change, but I'm mainly focused on human rights. And to be specific, I advocate for gender equality. So that's about me.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I'm sure everybody already started resonating with you, so that this conversation becomes a little bit more fun. So our topic for today is struggles that youth face in these days or this generation or these circumstances. So we're going to go over the problems that they have to face, and I don't think that anybody else except the people who face it know how hard it gets. So the first thing that I really wanted to touch upon, actually both of us, that was parental pressure. So Thiha, you can go ahead, start what comes to your mind about parental pressure, and then we can build on it and talk about it more.
Okay, so parental pressure. Well, many of us, I'm not stereotyping or anything, but us Asians, we've always been said that we're always good at maths or we're like always excelling in something. And stereotypes, are they true? Well, they're not entirely true. For some people, yes. Even as for me, I was never good at maths. I'm actually weak in maths, but I'm good in science. But with parents, although they don't know what a stereotype is, or maybe they know what a stereotype is, what happened is whenever you have an exam or you're just entering a small test in your school, they expect us to have the highest mark out of in the entire class or even like entire year. And even me growing up in this household, my parents always pressured me to just like, oh, you must always get good marks. Your parents, your grandparents are teachers. We have a school, so they're teachers. My grandfather's a maths teacher, so it's worse. Every time I have a maths exam, they're like, you must do well on maths, you must do well on science, you must do this, you must do that. So that's parental pressure on exams and academics. Another parental pressure that many of us would get is, I would say, being compared to other kids amongst us, our ages, maybe 15, 16, or 17, 18, whatever your age may be. So these pressures, it may seem like a small thing for us, but long term, it actually affects our mental health too. So like when you get compared to someone, we all know that you feel like, oh, you're not good enough. Maybe something's wrong with me. So that's the problem with parental pressure is, well, there's no actual way to stop parental pressure, but we could talk more about it so that our parents actually know how we're feeling when they do a certain thing or when they say certain.
Okay. That Asian thing, that hit home. uh, okay, I'll just say this, that every Asian, like you said, is supposed to be good at maths. They're supposed to be like engineers and doctors and whatnot. So yeah, I same goes for me actually. I've been expected to excel in all my studies, but even if I get down by a percent or two, I feel like whatever I do, the first thing that comes to my mind, will my parents think that this is right? I'm not thinking about myself. I'm not thinking about if it'll affect me or not. I'm just thinking about if my parents will like it or not. And that's what happens. Your life just revolves around your parents when it should revolve around you. It's about you. It's not about them, of course. But I think the best listeners in this world have to be the parents, because if they don't listen to their kid, they're never going to know what's wrong. And if they don't know what's wrong, then their child will get into wrong things or will just feel wrong about himself or herself. And I'm kind of a person who doesn't like being vulnerable with a lot of people. Like only my close circle are the people that I cry to, or things like that. So parents need to build that kind of like a support, kind of like an understanding that you can go and cry to them without being questioned of how small or petty a problem is, because it's not that small as it seems. So yeah, and also I really want to talk about this, that how parents usually decide things for their kids. Because when they do this, the kid is so underconfident and so underprepared, and they're just in a second, they're teenagers and they're left out in the wilderness alone. And they're like, I was never taught this. I don't know. This is out of syllabus. They're like that. So, exactly. Yeah. So, what do you think about this? Like, how can parents stop spoon feeding their kids and for once just let them make decisions in their lives so that they become confident about themselves?
Okay, so the thing with parents spoon feeding us, even me, like when I was young, even actually till now, sometimes what I had to go through was, I'm not a sporty person or anything, but I'm not like a very academic person either. I'm like somewhere in between that. I was like forced to go to like badminton classes or math classes every summer, and I hated every single day of it. So what happened is, even if you enjoy something, when you're forced to do that, you don't enjoy it anymore. You start hating having to do that. So how would you how would you fix this? There's no actual way to fix this. Like I said, we just have to talk to our parents. Like they have to listen. They are parents. They have to know how we feel. But another problem with that is they would tell us that we're your parents. We know better than you. That's the problem with having to talk to parents, actually. So how I would deal with it, I would just call both of them, or if we're together, of course, I'll just call both of them, make them sit down right in front of me, or get a moment where they're not working and then just talk to them straight. I don't like this. I don't like to do that. And if I'm very straightforward to them, they will try to understand that. I know that being straightforward to your parents can be hard. It's even hard for me, if you say. But if it's for you yourself, you're having to do something you don't enjoy. So there's no fun in that. Why would you spend your teenage years? It's your prime year to have fun, to excel in something you like. Why would you have to spend these years doing something you don't like or you have no idea about? So try to talk to your parents. Even if they don't listen, just say, Mom, Dad, I actually don't like this, but I do like this. Try to have not something common or maybe something common. So let's say they make you play badminton, but then you actually prefer football or volleyball. So say that I don't actually like badminton, but I feel like I'm more into volleyball. Can I try that? So don't pressure them. Don't nag them every day. Like, mom, I want to do this. I want to play this. I don't want to play badminton. Don't do that. But try to explain them the benefits of actually playing another sport that you actually like rather than a sport that you hate, so that they will understand and they will finally realize that, oh yeah, maybe this is better for him than the other one.
Okay, I agree. But yeah, talking to them makes it easier. But if I talk about around my personal circle that has been through such problems, what happens is that parents are very like, they listen to you. Of course they will understand you, they do listen to you, but it's just that I don't know if I have to blame it on the generation gap, that some professions are kind of like underlooked or preferred inferior to the others. And if you are willing to go into those, it can be really really hard to convince your parents for it, and you feel yourself helpless in that situation. Like you cannot say no to them, or you cannot overlook what they're saying, or you cannot argue with them. There is nothing possibly you can do other than, I think this is the only way, I could be wrong, but just doing that thing and giving them an example that I am good at this and I love doing this. I think parents are very emotionally attached to their kids. So seeing you happy doing something, I'm sure no matter how strict your parents are, they will understand you and they will try to build that bridge over the river so that you can talk to each other. And if they are not building that bridge, then go ahead and you do it, because some way or the other, that bridge has to be made. If you start it, it's going to be no big problem. So yeah, that was about talking about the pressure of the parents, but that's not the only pressure that we have social media. Everybody is on social media these days, and everything is super hard on it. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, just to name a few. I think being on such social media platforms is, everything's a double-edged sword. It's fun. It's, you get to meet new people, your communication skills improve and stuff like that. But the pressure that comes along with it, it's so hard to deal. Like if you're there showcasing your talent, like poetry, like I write poetry and I actually post it on Instagram. So that competition where it shouldn't be, like if I am in a poetry, I'm writing poetry and I'm sad, so my poetries will be sad. If another person's happy and they're writing a happy poetry, we're two different people with two different emotions, and there's no such way that we are getting compared about whose poetry is better. We're not selling them, we're not commercializing our work, we're just putting it out there for people to read and relate to and feel at home. So what do you think about the social media pressure? I think it's even more than, a little more than parental pressure. So what do you think?
Okay, so like you said, somehow our lives are like revolving around social media every day. You wake up, you check your phone, you go into Instagram or Facebook, and then you check your notifications and stuff. But social media, it comes with, like you have said, it comes with both advantages and disadvantages of it. The advantages, the obvious one, is it has made communication way easier for us. We don't have to send a letter to the post office and then have a reply 1 week later. We now have, you send them a text message now, you get an instant reply if you're online. But yeah, the pressure you said, social media, how would I say? Even me, sometimes when I post something, I'm like, what if people say something about this? What if people say something bad about this? To relate to that, when I started my organization would be, how I felt was like, I was so scared that people would just judge me for starting an organization out of nowhere, because youth-led organization, meaning student-led organization, weren't exactly a thing in my country. So I was just like so scared, feeling, what if people judge me for doing this? Or what if they say, why are you even doing this? What's the benefit of this? What am I supposed to say to them? I had no idea at that point. But how you can deal with that. I'm not gonna say like don't care whatever they said. I mean, sometimes criticism is good, sometimes it can be bad, but you do control your own life. No one else can shape your life for you. It's if you post about yourself, it's your body, your face, yourself. So feel proud about it. No one judge for what you are. These let's say you have a birthmark. It's actually what makes you unique from any other person that lives on the wall. So instead of being shy about that, be proud that, oh, I have a birthmark. Oh, this makes me unique. Or a scar that you had through an accident. Rather than shying away from it, share the story of how you survived this accident, maybe, or how you got this scar. Inspire other people on how you recover from this. So I know it can be tough too, because on social media we see models like Kim Kardashian or Kendall Jenner, all with their clear faces and like toned bodies and everything. I know it's actually hard to see that, but they're them. You are you. We are all different person. I mean, just look at the two of us right now. We may have some similarities, but we aren't totally the same. So everyone's unique. We have our own faces. There's nothing similar unless you're a twin, of course. So don't feel shy about yourself. Be proud of who you are. That's actually what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay. I think that message was loud and clear. You do not need to fit in a mold created by someone else that you've never even seen, because that's not who you are and that's not who you want to be. I have been there, trust me, trying to impress people with my writings, and just I felt so not me in my words, because I feel like the most vulnerable. Like I said, I'm not really comfortable crying in front of other people, but I feel like when I'm writing something, it's just automatic that I feel so like grounded and vulnerable at the same time. So for people, if I change that, if I show it that I don't know if it's relevant or not, but in the poetry community, micro poetries are really popular. Like everybody just 4 lines, quick read, and just you can just go on your ways. But I am someone who writes proses or long poetry. So in my page, I first started writing micro poetries, which was so not me. But the people liked it, it got likes, and I was happy about it. But if it comes to who I truly am, or what I truly write, it's long pieces. And I've grown so much that I will realize that I don't want to change it for anybody else. And that message is for you guys also who are watching. You don't need to change yourself for anybody else. Like Thiha said, you can just appreciate each part of you, and everybody will revert back. And if they do not revert back, if they do not reciprocate the love they you are giving to them or to yourself, and if they disrespect you for that, then you're better off without them. I'm being honest. You don't need such toxic people in your life that do not understand your worth and do not let you understand your worth. Now, coming over another topic that we wanted to touch, that is bullying, fat shaming, body shaming for your height, weight, you're thin, you're fat, you're small, you're short, I don't know what else. But yeah, so Thiha, go ahead and share your story about this. Like, have you ever dealt something like this, or what do you think about this?
Okay, so bullying. Well, to relate back to the previous topic about social media, I actually forgot to cover this. Cyberbullying. It's I don't want to say trending, but it's even like more of a thing now compared to physical bullying. I'm not saying cyberbullying is better than physical bullying. Both of them are bad, very, very bad. So cyberbullying, I will cover cyberbullying first. Cyberbullying, it hits different compared to physical bullying. Cyberbullying is, let's say you got a message from a random person saying like, oh my God, why are you posting such kind of pics? You don't even look nice. Imagine getting that kind of message and you just woke up. You just woke up from a really good nap and then you open your phone and that's the first thing you see. How would you feel? If it's the morning, your day will be completely destroyed right there. So the thing with cyberbullying is if you don't have a support system, things can go very bad. It could lead to suicide, or well, suicide's the worst thing, but there may be other worse things that we not know of. But bullying is, it's never a good choice to do anything. I mean, people may say that, oh, you bully them because you're insecure about yourself. Even if you're insecure about yourself, you shouldn't put your insecurity on someone else. Because even if you don't feel bad, the other person, you don't know how they're going to affect them. They may look fine on the outside. Like they may walk around school smiling every day, but you don't know what's actually happening to them. They may be having family problems at home or peer pressure or so many other things. They could be having a hard time catching up with their academics, or maybe they could have lost someone they truly loved or desired. So you don't know what's happening to them. So I say bullying is never an answer. Even my school, we had an anti-bullying campaign back a few years back that was started by our student council. So it's effective in some sort of ways sometimes too. But starting these kind of campaigns, if you don't take action by yourself, things won't work out either. So there will be a saying to say like, oh, bullying's not good. Don't bully others. But if you don't take action, then there won't be any end results. Things will be the same on and on and on and on and on. So cyberbullying like that. Physical bullying, we see on TV shows like specifically high school TV shows, I would say, where like a really muscular jock or like that type of stereotype, it's always that type to bully some kid with glasses or like who's really thin or who's gay or lesbian because of their gender or anything actually. So I want to ask those bullies, if I had a chance, I would actually ask them, why do you bully them? What do you get out of bullying another kid? Like, you don't get any satisfaction. There's nothing to feel satisfied about pushing someone into a locker or just kicking someone. So think before you do something. You might kill someone indirectly, without actually knowing it. So yeah, think before you do something.
Oh my God. I agree to that so much. And yeah, cyberbullying's worse because I'm just saying this as a girl. Like I've gotten messages that are, I cannot say things, I cannot say that. But I've gotten messages that are so rude, and they're just harassment messages. They're just threats. They're literally threats. And I'm just 15. I do get scared, and I am scared, and I'm not confident enough to tackle those messages. And even I start crying like those are so bad. I cannot even say this on over here, but they're so bad. And people don't get that they're ruining someone's life just because they are of an opposite gender, and you have the authority to text anyone and get away with it just because of that one particular thing. They're just ruining someone's life. They're hurting someone's individuality. So please don't do that. I know this won't work, but just if you can spread the message about it, that just don't do that. Like even if you get such messages, my best bet would be to, if you're too young, you can take a professional guidance, and you can either ignore it or but that's probably not the way. Or if you have a good amount of following, if you have a good amount of people that you can reach out to and you can talk to, then it'll be really great if you could put it out on your stories, you could put it on your highlights, if not feed, that's totally fine. So whatever little bits you can do to help someone else, because after they messaged you, you don't know if they messaged another girl or no. You don't know if that girl's willpower is strong enough as yours. Maybe she fell into depression or anxiety. Just because you did not doesn't mean the other person affected also did not. Maybe they're not strong as you, maybe they're not as confident, they were going through a rough time, and this message has made it worse. So yeah, bullying is a very, very it's super bad. Even physical bullying, for height, and other factors. But yeah, it's just sad that people are so like, how can you be so inconsiderate and you could be so unkind to someone? Like, it's sad, it's disappointing. More than being angry, I'm disappointed, because you cannot change those people. You cannot, if out of 100 lot of people, 20 are like those, you cannot pick out each 20 people and you can be like, okay, you need to change. That won't happen. But like you said, we can definitely, the campaigns and the different advocating measures, they definitely help. If not you, maybe the other, and it will definitely revert back to you. So that was really heavy, but I really want to make this light and end this on a light note. I really hope that you guys like this conversation, but we're not going to let you off with such heavy heart. We're going to discuss some things that you can do to, like I said, you cannot stop this, because it's too large to stop right now. So how can you feel better if you've gone through it? So I have a few things and I'm going to forget them. So I'm just going to say it and then I'm going to come to you. Okay. So there's this podcast called A Teenage Life. It's an amazing podcast. If you are into listening songs and podcasts, you can listen to songs, your favorite artists. I think slow songs really help, but if you love rock, if you love EDM, you can definitely go ahead with that. Just my point of conveying this is do whatever you want to do. I will be asking who will post this on the IGTV to put the national bullying number down in the description, so that if you are going through something and if you are not comfortable speaking it with anyone, you can definitely call on that number, or get a therapy, or just do something therapeutic. If you're into spiritual healing, collecting crystals, meditating, whatever helps, just do it. Because if you do not do it and if you let this get to you, it'll be a scar for life and you're not going to be able to get out of this trauma really easily. It won't be easy as of yet as well, but if you keep it, like let it breed on you, it's gonna be the end of you. It's gonna be so hard to get out of that. So make sure that you get out of that spare as soon as you can by whatever you can do to yourself. A good skincare routine helps. I'm being honest, literally. A good skincare routine, a good night's sleep, a good movie, anything you like. So yeah, those were the things that I would suggest to you. And go ahead, Thiha, just make everybody feel a little bit better.
Since you mentioned A Teenage Life, I actually listen to the same podcast almost every day. I listen to that when, even if I'm not feeling down, because it's actually good to listen. Like you have said, listening to podcasts, although you're not directly talking to them, you may sort of resonate to some of the scenarios you're talking about. So you can feel better while you're imagining what they're talking about at the same time. And another thing for me, what I like to do is journal my thoughts or write down on anywhere actually. When I say journaling, most of the people who are watching might think the really beautiful book full of like memo pads, stickers, drawings, watercolor paintings. A journal, it doesn't have to be like nice or what if you like designing, if designing makes you feel better, sure, design it. Or if you don't like designing, you can just write down, even if you don't have a journal, just grab a book, grab a pen, write it down, whatever you're feeling. If you're feeling angry, you're feeling angry. Why? Maybe someone did this to you, or you didn't get a grade that you were expecting. So just write it down. If you feel like designing your journal, sure, design it to whatever you feel like. There's no right or wrong way to design. Okay, give me a minute.
Okay, so till he comes
sorry.
back. Okay, he's back. Great. Go.
My sister came in. So yeah,
Oh, no.
as I was saying, you can journal your thoughts, or another thing you could do is have a small support network with your close friends. Maybe whenever you're feeling down, just call them, talk about whatever you're feeling or why do you feel like this. Believe it or not, your friends, they may not be official therapists or psychologists, but your friends, they know who you are. They know you better than anyone else. So they will know what to tell you when you're feeling down or when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling angry. They will know what to tell you. So have this small support network every time. So you can journal, listen to podcasts, talk to your friends, or if you're close with your family, I know some people might not be that open to their family because parental pressure, like we had at the beginning. But if you're actually really close to your family, talk to them. They will know what to do for you. But if it gets to a point where it's very bad, that your depression is stopping you from doing your work or stopping you from getting through a day even, I would recommend seeking out a professional. It can be a therapist or psychologist, like I said. If you don't know a therapist, I do know some. I don't remember the name right now, but if you need one, you can just reach out to me and I can tell you their accounts and then I can direct them to you. So if it gets to that point, I highly recommend you get a therapist. If your family may be against such kind of therapy, it's for your health. So think about it. If you're really low, you actually need this. It's your life. Even if your parents say no, I'm not telling you to go against them, but please do seek help actually, because you don't know what this could lead to. Yeah. So yeah, seek help or talk to your friends, listen to music, draw, or like you have said, do a proper skincare routine. Even me, I developed my skincare routine when I was going through something. Now I have like a full skincare routine of like 10 minutes right on my table every day. So even like unexpected things, they may help without actually knowing it. So that's some stuff that you could do.
Amazing. Okay. So like you said, if your parents are against a therapist, and let's just get this stigmatization out of here. If you are going to therapist doesn't mean you're crazy or you're not mentally well. You are just taking care of yourself, and going to a therapist is a totally normal thing. This was amazing. I had a very eventful time talking about this, because this is something I really, really care about, and I want to talk about. And this was really fun. In the description, you'll see the national bullying numbers. If you want to contact them, reach out to them, you can definitely do that. It'll be in the description of this IGTV. So yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much, Thiha, for being here, for sharing everything with us. It was really, really great. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody who joined. And this was our third Empowering Convo, and we'll be coming out with more. And yeah, thank you so much. This was really fun. Have a great day. And yeah, keep well.